China's political system right now, as you just outlined, the civilization itself is ancient, 6,000 years old. Clearly, at various times where it has had supremacy or superiority, it has not always been under state-led capitalism or under the rubric of the Chinese Communist Party. Why do you think that system works in China? Is it something that is aligned to the Chinese character in some way? Is it, or was it something else?
It does work amazingly well, and one of the first things Westerners have to realize is that you can't get rid of it or replace it or with something better called democracy of our kind. The head of Singapore, the founder of Singapore, was asked whether democracy would work in China, and he said, of course not, it's much too big, which is the same answer you have to give for Russia too. You can't run Russia in the Western-style democratic way, and attempts to force it to do so are doomed. The reason it works for various things, firstly, although this is circular arguing, the system is based on this Confucian philosophical system, which basically sets everything in a hierarchy. And it gives two hierarchies of superior and inferior, upper chain. It's a bit like the feudal system, but it's not based, the feudal system is based on contract. You decide to be the lord of someone and they decide to be your vassal. In the Chinese system, it's based on birth. You are the son of your father. You are the grandson of your grandfather. A woman traditionally was inferior to a male. A younger brother was inferior to an older brother. And so you get a chain from yourself through generations of ancestors of protection and patronage from above, and deference and respect and help from below. That is one great chain which goes back to 500 BC and the work of Confucius and other philosophers. But it's exactly parallel to the political chain, so that in exactly the same way you are linked to the person on the chain above you, up, 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 to the emperor. And it goes down and up. So power goes up and down through this familistic system, because the emperor is your father as well as the emperor. And this system, as a way to hold together vast numbers of people, is extremely effective. I haven't worked out the mathematics, but if you look at the English political local government system, we have 4 layers. We have the centre, and then we have counties, and then we have towns, and then we have villages. So there are 4 layers. And with that, you can encompass whatever number of villages there are in England. The Chinese have 5 layers, and the mathematics is such, I imagine, that it's exponential. So just by adding 1 further layer, every village and town in China is linked up through 5 stages up to the top. And in each case, the system works by electing someone at the bottom, who is then in the local elected organization of the village or the small town, and you have a party secretary. So you have a parallel system of the political and the elected. They then choose someone who goes to the next level, which is the big city or town, then to the province or to the county, and then to the province, and then to China. So this way, up through the system, the 600 or 800 people who we sit in the great hall in Beijing, meeting and clapping and so on, those people are the final stage up, and above them are the 9 members of the Politburo and so on. And so it's a tiered system in which everyone doesn't vote for someone above them, but they are interlinked by a certain delegation of authority up. And then it works the other way around, that when the center decides that we're going to build a new motorway across Eurasia, then they tell everyone, and then it goes down, and everyone gets on board. So it's just like the language. The language is absolutely extraordinary and brilliant for holding together 1.4 billion people, because everyone can simply read it and everyone knows it, and so everyone speaks the same language. So China has not been a nation in the sense that nations are imagined communities. I feel British. No one in China, I suspect, thought they were Chinese until 40 years ago. I mean, it might have been under Chairman Mao that they began to feel Chinese. And if you asked someone in some part of China who they were, they might say Chinese. Nationalism is only a very recent product, and it's basically a reflex action against Western nationalism. Chairman Mao and others saw what Western nationalism, the nation state, was doing to them, and they took it on board, and now nationalism is universal in China because all schools encourage it and so on. So China was never united by we the Chinese. It was united by this linguistic, political, and other tributary systems in a way that has worked for 6,000 years. So there's something going for it.